Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and we are live with this week's pre-orders. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so right off the bat, we've got some limited items. If you're after these, I would not hesitate. So we see the Wrath of the Soulforged King art print collection. $320 for that. And we know this is just the regular Vashtorr book. One copy of Wrath of the Soulforged King. And then if we just scroll down and add those up, it's 210 plus 60. This is not the limited edition Vashtorr book. So you're talking about 270 plus you're paying $50 for the art print. That's it. No savings. You are paying for the art print 100%. That being said, we have the Wrath of the Soulforged King new box set out. From what I understand, they have made plenty of this box set. It does include two brand new models, though, Vashtorr and Azrael. So I do expect it to be fairly popular, but I don't think getting your hands on one is going to be an issue. Speaking of getting your hands on one and being an issue, I do think the Cypher Lord of the Fallen limited edition is going to sell out and sell out quickly. If you are after this book, I would not mess around. It is limited to only 2,000 copies. It is signed, numbered, and obviously a limited edition book right here. So very, very cool. Definitely think this is going to be one of the ones that is gone fast and immediately selling at a premium. And if we scroll down here to the Arks of Omen Vashtorr Collector's Edition, $90 for this bad boy. We have seen every single one of these sell out as well. So again, if you are after the Collector's Edition of Vashtorr Arks of Omen, again, I think it's going to be gone very, very quickly. That being said, the Arks of Omen regular Vashtorr book probably will sell out as well. We did see both of the previous ones, Abaddon and Angron, sell out pretty quickly. But for some reason, we either saw like a second run of the Abaddon books, or they just had some more in reserve because Games Workshop suddenly has them back in the store. So that being said, I wouldn't mess around with the Vashtorr book if you do want to get a hold of it, but there has been kind of like mixed selling out with those. So moving on now to the boarding patrols. So we went through and did a complete breakdown of the 4 boarding patrols, compared them to the actual combat patrols, talking about value, composition, all that good stuff. And when it really comes down to it, the boarding patrol Genestealer Cult is okay, but honestly, that one and the Chaos Demons boarding patrol are just not that great when you compare them to the actual combat patrol boxes. They're both relatively close in price, and the value of the combat patrol boxes is just so good relative to the boarding patrol boxes, and then also every other combat patrol box. It's hard for anything to compare to the savings. So that being said, it's not necessarily that the boarding patrol Genestealer Cult or Chaos Demons are bad. It's just that the other options out there are exponentially better. Now that being said, the boarding patrol Genestealer Cult does still serve a purpose. It comes with 2 important characters, the Abominant and also the Kelermorph. So I could still see there being viable reasons to pick that up. Now, the one I do think is going to sell out of this is the Boarding Patrol Death Guard. Part of the reason I think this one is going to be such a big seller, the actual Combat Patrol box is much more of like kind of a horde army, which is not how most people play Death Guard. It should be played more of like a durable elite army. So that being said, this Boarding Patrol box I think fits a lot more into the archetype of what people want for Death Guard. So in this case, you're getting 10 of the regular Plague Marines, you're getting a character, Lord Virulence, in Terminator armor, and then you're getting 3 of the Death Shroud Terminators. And if you just take the Terminators are $60 and the character is like 40, that's pretty much the better part of the box right there. So you essentially get like 10 Plague Marines for $15, which is obviously a steal. So I think that box will be sold out very, very quickly. It'll be very, very popular. And then onto the Boarding Patrol Adeptus Mechanicus. It's not a bad box set overall. It has a lot of redundancy to all the other box sets that have come out recently. Basically, every box Games Workshop has released has either 2 squads of Kataphrons in it, or 1 squad of Kataphrons and 1 squad of Skitarii. It's the Boarding Patrol, it's the Combat Patrol, it's the Christmas Battle Force, etc. So there's just so much redundancy that it really eats into the actual savings of the box. So while I don't necessarily think this is a bad box, it just kind of fits into the meh section of like all the other AdMech boxes. So next onto the Horus Heresy release, we have the Typhon Heavy Siege Tank. This thing is definitely a beast. Pretty cool looking overall, and definitely can deliver a pounding to your opponent. $115 for that bad boy. And then we see some of the Lord of the Rings stuff here. Gothmog, Lieutenant of Sauron. Now that is strange. In the picture, it only shows him mounted, because I believe in this set, you get him mounted and he's removable from the mount. And then also he's on foot as well. Okay, yeah. So we can see here in the pictures, this is what actually comes in the set. It's him on foot, him mounted, and then you can leave him off so you can have the warg still playable without him on top of it as well. So $45 for that. Cool little set. I'm sure people are excited for. And then we see Faramir, Madril, and Damrod, the Rangers of Ithilien. $45 for those bad boys as well from that same set. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. And then we've got the White Dwarf, a couple of paperback books, and then on to the dice. So we have the Imperial Knights dice. These are really cool. I actually like them a lot. $35 for them. Unfortunately, it is only 15 in the set, and obviously Dice Boycott is in full effect, so I will not be picking those up. We also see the Vashtorr dice. Again, not bad looking at all. Again, still only 15 for $35. And then we have our Chaos Knights dice set. Probably my favorite of the recent dice. Maybe the World Eaters dice. I don't know. Both really nice. But again, 15 dice for $35. Just a 0% chance that that is happening. And then we have all the stuff from last week. So we had the big release of the Kharadron Overlords. We saw the release of the Regiments of Renown. Some of these Regiments of Renown are actually pretty nice setups. Something like the Ilthwin's Thorns, you're basically buying the $60 Gossamer Archers and paying $10 for your like $40+ character. Same thing with the Regiments of Renown Vermord's Shamblers. If you paid $60 for the zombies right off the bat, you pay an extra $10 and you get this $35 corpse cart. So not a bad setup. A couple of the other ones are nice little deals and everything if you're going to use this stuff inside. Basically just a good way to get a package set up, save a couple dollars. Some are more savings than others, like the Hargrex Pit Beast is really poor savings. It's less than 20%. But if you're somebody like me that paid full price for all three of these already, you probably wish you got 20% off. I did have a couple of commenters also mention that some of these little sets are cool for Warcry as well. And that's something that I hadn't really considered, but is definitely worth paying attention to also. My favorite of the Regiments of Renown, though, is Big Rick's Cruel Shots. Now, I'm not planning on actually playing them as the Cruel Shots. I just needed 6 more of the Bolt Boys and one of the Beast Skura Killbows. So for me, it was just a nice package deal to save a couple bucks. And also, we just saw the Cruel Boys go up as well. And also we just saw that price increase. So this thing is actually like an even better deal now, because now it's $55 for each of the 3 Bolt Boys. So it's $110 just for 2 squads of Bolt Boys. So you save $10 on them, and then you get the Beast Skua Killbow for free. So you're basically saving like almost $50 on this set, which is pretty nice considering it's only $100. So definitely some cool stuff here in the last couple of weeks. So as we can see, no shortage of box sets from Games Workshop this week, or really at all lately. In the last 3 months, Games Workshop has released over 60 big boxed sets. That started with like the Christmas box sets and the new Army launch box sets, and has rolled into the boarding patrols, the additional combat patrols, the Vanguard boxes, all the battle boxes, etc. But we have seen over 60 boxed sets in 90 days. 60 box sets in 3 months. So that is literally a box almost every other day. Insane amount of volume of models coming out of Games Workshop. Everything you buy from Games Workshop at this point in time should have a deal attached to it. So that being said, probably going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. Let's go ahead and just jump in and take a look at a couple of these items and see if they're gone already. Okay, so we do see that Cypher Lord of the Fallen is sold out already. So it did take less than 10 minutes for Cypher Lord of the Fallen to sell out. So I'm very glad that I secured one myself. And also just jumping down at the Vashtorr Collector's Edition. Still available for now. We'll see how that goes. I have a feeling this will be sold out relatively quickly. Not quite as limited or in demand as much as these signed and numbered books from Black Library, but collector's items nonetheless. So that's it for today. Let me know what you're most excited about. Which of these items are you going to be picking up? Always like to hear back from you guys. Appreciate all of the positivity. And also special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Make sure to check them out to save 15%. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.